I don't know about y'all, but baby, I hate to see a cut crease coming, but in the same breath, I always love the outcome. I've been asked so much, babe, please do a cut crease eyeshadow tutorial. That's exactly what we're gonna get into today. So if y'all are ready, babes, class is in session, let's get into the lab. Hey babes, and welcome back to my channel. So we're back and the brows are done. If you want a full tutorial of the brow routine, I do have a video up on my page. Definitely give it a watch, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think. But let's get back into this tutorial. The main palette that I'm going to be working out of is the Nudes of the World by the Crayon case. I actually used this just yesterday on my TikTok live. So I'm basically just redoing the same look that I did over there. It turned out super good. She's a really cute girl. This is what the eyeshadows are giving. This is a bunch of neutral everyday shadows, 24 different shades, and then you get 6 shimmers. This palette was actually on sale yesterday for half off, y'all. I was trying to put as many of my girls on because this is a really good everyday eyeshadow palette. It blends out really good and the pigment is definitely there. So what we want to start off with is a nice transition shade. So I'm going to use this Morphe fluffy brush. There isn't a name for it. It just says Morphe on it. I wish I could tell y'all the exact brush name, but there's just not one on it. So we're going to go into this first shade right here, which is this one. I'm going to use this as a cute transition shade, or as others like to call it, just a background shade. We're just going to pop this on the lid right above the crease and just give it back and forth motions. What this is going to create, just a nice smooth transition, just a nice pop of color. Depending on your eye shape, whenever you're doing this, you definitely want to take it up as high as possible. I know a lot of us have what we call a hooded eye. So in order to see the cut crease, you do want to make sure you're using up as much lid space as possible. Another really good tip is make sure you get into the inner corner of the eye really good and blend it out. You don't really want this side of the eye to be bare because you do want a nice transition. So you can see where we brought it into the very inner corner to give it that nice transition, brought it all the way up as much as possible. We just did this right above the crease. You really don't have to go low with it because all of that's going to get covered up at some point. Now we have both eyes done. So now what we want to do is just darken it up with a darker brown, but not too dark. We want to slowly darken it up. Using another Morphe brush, this one's a little smaller but still fluffy. We're going to dip into one of the darkest shades. We're just going to pop this one again right into the crease and just blend it out. What this is going to do is add a little bit more depth. That way when we cut the crease, you can actually see that the crease has been cut. You can probably stop right here with just this one shade, but I do think I'm going to go one shade darker. We got both eyes done, and can y'all see that gradient of it? It looks really cute, nice and soft, but not too much, not too deep, just enough. Now I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. It's still kind of fluffy. This is a Morphe brush, but again, there's no name on it or anything like that, so I can't tell y'all exactly which one it is. We're going to go into the darkest shadow shade in here, which is this one right here. What we want to do is just darken up that crease even more. I promise you the outcome is going to be amazing when we finally cut the crease. With this shade, I would definitely say keep it right above that natural crease and just darken it up. So don't try to steer too far away from that. Stay right in that one area, go back and forth, but of course make sure it is blended out really good. Just give it those back and forth motions, like I said, right above that natural crease. So it's going to give it a little bit of depth, but like I said, it's not going to do too much. Just so y'all can see a really good comparison, look at how this eye looks compared to this one. This one's a little darker, very subtle, but it's definitely darker. And then we have this one that we still need to add some of that darker eyeshadow to. That way it gives it a little bit more depth. I really do hope I'm explaining this good, y'all. I don't think I'm a really good teacher, but I definitely try my best. Both eyes are done now, and y'all look at that. They look amazing. Honestly, if you just wanted to pop on a little shimmer, a quick little 1-2, you can definitely bounce right out of the house with just this. But this is a cut crease tutorial, so let's go ahead and get into cutting the crease. There are many different ways to cut a crease, but I'm definitely going to show you my way of cutting a crease. When it comes down to it, you definitely have to figure out what works best for you. And over the past year, I feel like this is the best method for me. I like to use a thicker eyeshadow base. This is the one from Lashing Out Glam. This is the Rain plain coat eyeshadow base in the shade number 4. I also like to use a flat brush. This is also from Lashing Out Glam. This is their Reshape brush. Shade number 4 is definitely lighter than my skin tone, which I don't mind because I kind of want to go for that. I'm just going to put it on this little painted palette. Speaking of painted, has anyone seen the new eyeshadow palette that's dropping? You best believe I'm already putting in my order. I like to go in with a thicker eyeshadow base because it's going to ensure that I definitely get all of the coverage that I'm looking for. Going in with that crease brush or the Reshape brush, you just want to get both sides of the brush nice and coated. As you're doing it, make sure that you're getting both sides of the brush really flat. Before we get into cutting the crease, I do want you to see that I do have hooded eyes. So whenever I relax my brows, you can see that natural crease, that natural hood. When you're cutting that crease so we can actually see it, you want to make sure that you are going above that natural crease. So whenever you raise your brows, you can kind of get a feel of where it's at. You want to mark right there. For me, I always take the highest point on my lid, so about right here, and I just drag it all the way down. Like I said, I just take the highest point and I drag it all the way down. And then from there, what I'm gonna do is go into the very inner corner and I'm just gonna map it all the way out. It's totally up to you which way you decide to start. You can start from right here and go into the inner corner, or you can go from the inner corner and bring it all the way out. I like to go from the inner corner and just map it in. So once you mapped it out, if you relax your brows and you can still see that line, you've done it just right. That's if you have hooded eyes. If you don't have hooded eyes, then baby, you should be fine. Now what we're gonna do is just fill everything in, make sure everything's nice and smooth, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and I'll be right back. Believe me when I say I love a cut crease down, but it be having me stressed out. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next part. Now that we have both eyes done, we can go ahead and start shading these in. Out of the brand new Morphe palette, this is the Flickering Sands one. We're just gonna use the Morphe M333 brush and we're gonna dip into the darkest shade of black and a little bit of this brown. So just a little bit of both, give it a quick little tap. What we want to do is go into this outer corner and just darken it up. Seriously live for a dark outer corner. I think is so cute. When doing this, make sure you're bringing that black a little bit over into that crease area, just a little bit. You don't want to do too much. And then you want to go back in with like that darker brown shade, just touch it up right along the edges, just to give it a cute transition. So use whatever brush that you want to use. I'm just going to use the one that I was using the black with, and you just want to touch it right along the edges. Going into that first palette that we use, Nudes of the World, and using the first brush that we used, we're also going to go into the first shade that we used. So that shade that we used as the transition shade, using that same brush, we just want to go along the edges of this, going into that darker brown, and then going into that darker or that black. Just tap it on, keep it right along the edges of it, and just blend it all the way in. That way we're bringing back in some of those primary shades that we use, and it's really going to help the eye look pop. I just wanted y'all to see the difference of the two really quick. Look at how this eye looks compared to this one. You can't tell me that doesn't make a huge difference, and we're not even done yet. Go ahead and do the other eye. I'll be right back. That way we can move on to the next step. Y'all got to let me know, is it bad that I want to stop right here because it literally looks so good? I just love the way that it came together. That's exactly what I mean when I say that I hate to see a cut crease coming, but I always love the outcome, because baby, this definitely eats down. But before anybody comes for me, let's go ahead and finish this up. Using the Morphe V206 brush, we're going to dip into the darkest pink shade. We're using the pink shade because whenever I did this eyeshadow look, it was Wednesday, and y'all know on Wednesdays we wear pink. Even though I am wearing pink today, it's just a coincidence. Either way, that's what I use, so we're going to continue with that because I know a lot of people are going to come back and look at this video for the tutorial. So we're just going to dip into that, and what we're going to do is place this right in that blank area. Whenever you do this part, you don't want to bring it too far up, that way it covers up the line, because you do still want the crease to be defined. So bring it up just a little bit, but not too far. Tap this on. Look at that pink. The pink with the orange or that light brown going into that darker brown into the black, it looks amazing. And baby, if you say it doesn't look amazing, go ahead and exit the video. We don't have time for that negative energy. Both eyes done, and y'all, OMG, look at the pink. Look at it going into that orangey brown shade, it looks phenomenal. The eyeshadow literally would not be complete without at least a little bit of shimmer. We're going to use the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 6 Freedom palette. I love this palette down, y'all. Look at all of the colors. This is such a cute palette full of beautiful multi-duochromes. It's just simply a really cute girl. If it's Danessa Myricks, I don't care what it is, baby, I gotta have it. For a little bit of shimmer, we're gonna use this light pink shade right here. I feel like it would be perfect for that nice soft touch of glitter or shimmer, whichever way you want to put it, but that's exactly what we're gonna use. I did try to use a brush, but I wasn't feeling it with a brush, so I am gonna use my finger to pick up a little bit of the pigment. Her shimmers literally feel like butter and they look amazing. Like I said, this is just a very light shade, nothing too crazy, because I don't really want to take away from the rest of the eye, but I do feel like it is just enough. We're just gonna pop this right on the lid, and it just gives a nice, cute, subtle touch of shimmer. If I'm being quite honest, I really do hate using my fingers to pick up shimmers, only because I have nails, so I can't really get into the very inner corner as much as I would like to. But then I always have to revert to using a brush and really packing it on. But either way, we made it work. We made it do what it do. All right, babes, I'm gonna pop on a lash, do a little bit of liner, and then I'll be right back to show y'all the finished results. All right, babes, this is the finished eye look. I absolutely love the way that this turned out. It looks amazing. This is definitely a definition of that you have to trust the process, because baby, at first I was about to toss in the towel. It was just a little ghetto, but I was determined to go ahead and get this done and have it recorded for everyone. So I do hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If this method of doing it wasn't for you, that's totally fine, because there's so many ways how to go about cutting a crease. This is just the way that works best for me. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe and turn on your notification bells so you know when your girl drops another video.